Hi everyone, welcome back to Start Talks by Sav. So today I am going to discuss the previous year question papers of UGC NET Population Studies, Paper 2. The first question, what is the value of the weight recommended by the United Nations which corresponds to the pattern of fertility for the age group 30 to 34 years in sex age adjusted birth rate? And the correct option is 6. And the explanation for this question, the United Nations first proposed a model pattern of fertility in the sex age adjusted birth rate method where they assigned a arbitrary weight numbers to each 5-year age group to represent the relative fertility intensity. These weights are not proportions but index numbers used for simplifying manual calculation, and here also include the table for different age groups and their fertility pattern weight. Next question, which of the following term is used to categorize women on the basis of number of children? The correct option, parity. Parity referred to the number of live-born children a woman has given birth to. Third question, which of the following measure is defined as the average number of girls expected to be born to a woman in the population exposed to a given set of age-specific fertility rate during her entire reproductive span of life? Total fertility rate, gross reproduction rate, net reproduction rate, and general fertility rate. And the correct option is gross reproduction rate. Gross reproduction rate measures the average number of daughters that would be born to a woman during their entire reproductive period. If she were to experience the current set of age-specific fertility rates throughout her life, it assumes no female mortality during the reproductive age, that is, all women survive until age 49. The equation for gross reproductive rate is equal to TFR into proportion of female birth. And as an example for finding GRR also given. And another terms, total fertility rate measures the average number of children born per woman. Gross reproduction rate measures average number of daughters born per woman assuming no mortality. Net reproduction rate measures the average number of daughters a newborn girl will bear after surviving through her reproductive years. So it accounts for mortality. And general fertility rate measures birth per 1,000 women in a year, not a lifetime measure. Next question, in which year Arthashastra of Kautilya, next question, in which century Arthashastra of Kautilya prescribed population census? Correct option, 4th century. The Registration of Birth and Death Act in India, which made reporting and registration of birth and death compulsory, was introduced in which of the following year? 1969. Which of the following is not required to calculate the sample size for estimation of prevalence of a disease? And the options are population of area, prevalence of disease variable from earlier study, level of significance, error in estimate. And here the correct option is population of area, and also the equation for finding sample size for estimating the prevalence of disease is equal to n equal to z square pq divided by d square. Here n equal to required sample size, z is equal to value corresponding to the desired level of significance, p is equal to prevalence, q equal to 1 minus p, and d is equal to allowable error. So population of the area is not needed unless the population is very small. Next question, which of the following is not a qualitative method of data collection? And the correct option is mystery client, and other methods are also described. Focus group discussion is a qualitative method used to collect in-depth opinions, attitudes, and perception from a small group through guided discussion. And next, observation method, that is a qualitative method. Researcher observe participants' behavior or interaction in their natural setting. And mystery client is not purely qualitative. A quantitative technique used in service evaluation. Trained individual pose as customer to assess service quality or compliance. Data collected are often structured and numerical. Next one, household interview, qualitative or mixed. Can include both open-ended and close-ended questions depending on design. Next question, following are the result of case control study. Calculate the odds ratio. So the formula for find odds ratio is given. OR is equal to A into D divided by B into C. Also, we can find the values of A, B, Z, and D from this table as Then here we can find OR is equal to 30 into 30 divided by 20 into 20. That's equal to 2.25. The answer is 2.25. Which among the following is not true about chi-square test? Tells about the presence or absence of an association between two characteristics. Directly measures strength of association. Tests goodness of fit can be used when more than two groups are to be compared. And the correct option is option 2, directly measures the strength of association. The reason, chi-square test detects the presence or absence of the association, but it does not measure the strength of association. For finding the strength of association, we can use Cramer's V, phi coefficient, etc. Next question, which of the following mathematical method of population projection is based on equation Pt equal to k into a raised to b raised to t? The correct option is modified exponential model, which is a refinement of simple exponential model. So here we can first study the standard exponential growth model, that is Pt is equal to p naught e raised to rt, where Pt is the population at a time t, p naught base year population, e is the base of natural logarithm, and r is growth rate, t is time interval. It assumes constant growth rate, which is often unrealistic for long-time projection, And so we use modified exponential model, adjust the simple exponential model to account for a declining rate of growth over time. Because as population increases, limiting factors like resources, health, environment slow down the growth. So it is expressed as Pt equal to P naught into 1 plus R a raised to T. Or equivalently, we can represent Pt is equal to K into a raised to B. K, A and B are the parameters determined from past census data. It gives a better fit when the growth rate is not constant. Here I also include different models and their equations. Logistic, Pt is equal to K by 1 plus A into e raised to minus Bt. And Gombert's Pt is equal to K into e raised to minus A e raised to minus Bt. And modified exponential, K into a raised to B, or Pt is equal to P naught into 1 plus R into a raised to T. So the modified exponential model is used when population grow exponentially but the rate of growth slightly decline with the time. Realistic for medium term projections. Okay. Next question, who has introduced the cohort component method of population projection for the first time? So the correct option is welfare. What is the cohort component method? It is one of the most accurate and widely used technique for population projection. It projects the population by age and sex cohorts over time using three key demographic components: fertility, mortality, migration. Each component affects the population of different age-sex cohort differently. That is, future population is equal to current population plus birth minus death plus net migration. Each age group is projected separately using age-specific fertility, mortality and migration rate. Why Welfton contribution is important? Welfton's 1936 paper laid the foundation for modern cohort component projection method. His work led to the US Census Bureau adopting this as a standard approach for official projections. Other options, Bowley, a statistician and demographer, contribute to sampling and income distribution studies, not this method, and D. Ganas, not associated with this model. Also, Cannon, no major contribution to cohort component population projection. Next question, which of the following hold true in the positively skewed distribution? In a positively skewed distribution, also called right skewed distribution, the tail of the distribution extends to right. The mean is pulled in the direction of tail and the mode stays at the highest point. The median lies between the mode and the mean. So the order becomes mean greater than, median greater than mode. That is we got as the figure. This is the positively skewed distribution. Here the skewness occurred at the right tail. Consider the incomes in population. Most people earn modest amounts. Here is an example for positively skewed or right skewed distribution. Consider income in population. Most people earn moderate amount, but if you have very high income, this high values pull the mean upward, creating a right skew. That is mode, most frequent income, majority earners, and median middle income, mean inflated by few high incomes. Next question, if responses categories are strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, neither agree nor disagree, somewhat agree and strongly agree, then response category is called ordinal. Which of the following statement is true regarding the concept of gender? It is biologically determined, it is numerical concept, it is sex of the person, it is social construct. So the correct option, it is social construct. In which year National Commission for Women was set up in India? 1992. Also, we should remember in which year the Women Act come in. So that's 1990. Which of the following terms as per UNDP is associated with the process of enlarging people's choices? UNDP defined human development as the process of enlarging people's choices. It focuses on improving people's health, education, income and freedom so they can live fulfilling lives. This approach goes beyond economic growth and emphasizing human well-being and empowerment. Other options, consumer right. This concept refers to the right of customers to be protected from unfair trade practices, to be informed and to choose freely in the marketplace. It is about the market fairness, not about overall human development or enlarging life choices. Next one, social development. Social development focuses on improving social structures like equality, community, participation and welfare systems. And sustainable development aims to meet present needs without compromising the ability of future generations. It emphasizes environmental, social and economic balance. However, the phrase enlarging people's choice is specifically used by UNDP to describe human development, not sustainability. Next question, in which year the Chipko movement led by Gaura Devi was launched by women activists? The correct option is 1982. The Chipko movement began in the early 1970s in Uttarakhand, then part of Uttar Pradesh. It was led by Gaura Devi and other village women of Reni village in 1982. When they hugged trees to prevent them from being cut down by contractors, the movement symbolized environmental protection, women empowerment and sustainable development.